It is Sunday, March the 21st, 2021. It is about noontime. It is halftime of Illinois and Loyola. I couldn't have planned this out any perfect. Walkway to Fight Club. I'm Stephen Muehlhausen of DAZN. The man to the right, the handsomest man in all the land, DY, Daryl Rivera is in the house. You're wondering why. Why are you guys doing a podcast on a Sunday at 12:08 Central, 1:08 Eastern, 11:08 a.m. Mountain Time, 11:08 a.m. in Vegas, and 5:08 out in the UK? Why? Because it is Fastlane Day. Fastlane taking place tonight from the Thunderdome in Tampa, Florida.
Ugh.
What's wrong with the Thunderdome? What's wrong with Tropicana Field? What is your issue with the Trop? Come on.
My issue is the event tonight, man. It just feels like a thrown together pay-per-view. Like they forgot they scheduled it and they're like, oh, hey, we need to book matches for this thing. We forgot. Let's throw some things in there.
Dude, it's such a freaking clusterfuck.
They totally forgot about it.
And this is my issue with the entire thing. It's like, how do you forget there's a damn pay-per-view? You booked the damn thing.
Before WrestleMania, like right before.
This isn't a thing of where you were like, you know what? We're just going to throw this pay-per-view together. No, this pay-per-view was on the damn books. Good Lord. But before we continue all that in your hate for Tropicana Field, don't forget, rate, review, download, and subscribe to the Walkway to Fight Club. A lot of good interviews up. We got some good stuff coming up this week with the one and only Francis Ngannou, Stipe Miocic. They will be meeting in the main event of Saturday's UFC 260. What appears to be, and we'll talk about this more later on in the week, the final UFC pay-per-view without fans. So we'll get into that shenanigans later on in the week, but we'll be talking to Stipe Miocic, Francis Ngannou, and the natural Randy Couture. I'll be talking to him tomorrow, and we'll be previewing that main event. So lots to look forward to this week. We'll also be on tonight, but don't forget, rate, review, download, subscribe, iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, iHeart, Spotify. We're also on YouTube. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Ticking up a little bit, where I put a video up with Kevin Holland that I did last week. We got the still undisputed women's welterweight champion of the world, the one and only Jessica McCaskill. So a lot of good stuff. Rate, review, download, and make sure you do subscribe. But back to your hate for the Trop.
I don't hate the Trop.
It seems like you do.
I like Tropicana Field. My reaction was to the fact that they're having Fastlane as a thrown, like it's just lazy booking for the entire show. Like the entire thing just feels like tonight. I totally forgot we were having it until like Thursday. I'm like, oh hey, Fastlane, I forgot it's Sunday. Should probably talk about that, but I mean, okay.
But then you said something I thought was really interesting about lazy booking. It's WWE 101 now. Lazy booking. This is what they do.
You could have made like 3 of these matches. You could have put stakes on them. 3 of them. The only one that you ended up doing was Roman Reigns. If also the old WWE angle of it's our top star and then everybody else we'll just worry about as we go. Like it sucks. Like you see the event today and it's just like, cool, you have some good matchups. Seth Rollins versus Shinsuke Nakamura on paper could be a show stealer. But the build-up for it was, what, a 1 week, like, hey, I don't like you, let's fight. Cool. Okay. You better have a good match for it because you're not giving me a reason to watch. I didn't even know it was happening until Friday. So I'm like, okay.
And, that's the killer thing about this. You didn't book the show, most of the show, until like Monday. Why do I not know any matches going into Raw on Monday? Tell me why. I rewatched the show again. I put myself through torture this morning.
Oof.
There was no mention of anything except, and I have all the matches here, except for Riddle and Ali for the U.S. title.
I actually missed one. I didn't have that one on my paper.
I almost forgot about it. I wanted to make sure he knew all the matches before we got on air, and I wanted to make sure I didn't miss anything.
All right, so there's 7 matches today.
Yes.
The only 2 that have a legitimate build up to it are Roman Reigns versus Daniel Bryan and a little bit of Big E versus Apollo Crews.
How sad is that?
Everything else is thrown together. The women's tag belt is based around Reginald, which makes no sense to me. Shane McMahon versus Braun Strowman happened on Monday. The entire angle sucks. That entire angle sucks. It's been bad segment after bad segment. I demand an apology. Dude, you're 7 feet tall, 360 pounds of pure muscle. Just pick him up and throw him 30 yards like you used to in 2016. What happened?
It's like far push.
Exactly. You used to be this animal, and now you're making him look like a whiny little
bitch.
Thank you.
Whiny little bitch. Say it. You could say bitch. Say it.
Bitch. Exactly. And here's the thing. Braun Strowman is this monster, ginormous guy, but you're booking him to be somebody that gets you're booking him to be somebody, oh, hey, I'm offended that he's calling me stupid. I demand an apology. No, the old Braun Strowman, and I saw a video of this, he literally, when The Miz broke his car's window, he flipped the van that they were in. And now he's getting what's it called, slimed on national TV like it's freaking Nickelodeon. What the hell?
That match is off the books for this show. From what I've been told, the match is, sources have told me that the match is now likely to occur at WrestleMania, which I don't know why they would even have hyped that match for this show. I don't want to see this match at Fastlane. To me, that's a WrestleMania. You want to get Braun on the show.
Get the street fight going.
You got Shane always pulls through big at WrestleMania. So I'm cool with that.
I don't have beef with the match itself. I have beef with the booking of it and the leading up to it.
Oh, yeah.
Shane, you can book this so much better. Shane is taking on this big monster. Book Braun Strowman for what he is, an animal, a monster, a guy that can legit rip somebody apart if he really, really wanted to. Book it that way, but you're doing the exact opposite. I don't understand why.
A lot of people coming in. Leave any questions and comments you guys have regarding tonight's WWE Fastlane from the Trop, the Thunderdome, the final pay-per-view at the Thunderdome. A lot of finals tonight. Yeah. And let's start with the main event. Daniel Bryan challenging Roman Reigns. The Universal title is on the line. This has been well done. Like you said earlier, DUI, most promoted match on the show, rightfully so. They felt they had confidence in this match. They're not having Lashley defend the title, and I think that's a great move. I don't think you need all these titles defended at every pay-per-view. If you go without the Universal or the WWE title not being defended on the show, I'm cool with that. That makes the title a little more prestigious. Makes it more valuable when the title is defended. It actually means something. I think that's something that's just missing in pro wrestling in general. But Edge is a special enforcer, referee, whatever you want to call it. Great match with Jey Uso on SmackDown. I think we know which way this is going to go, but I'm going to throw a curveball here. Did you watch Talking Smack?
No.
Paul Heyman said something very interesting. I reached out to Paul, and Paul no-sold me like he just gave me a wink and a DM.
Nice.
I asked what, because he talked about the main event of WrestleMania is not going to be Roman Reigns against Edge. Now, he called it a spoiler. Paul delivers on the spoilers. I will give Paul that. I'm thinking we're going to get some shenanigans. And we're going to get a 3-way. We're going to get Edge, Daniel Bryan, and Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship in the main event of WrestleMania.
I'm not even mad about that. You know why? No. Because somebody has to eat the pen. Somebody has to.
Someone would. When we could talk about that if it happens. But just based on what Paul says, and when Paul makes a spoiler, you can take it to the bank.
It has to come through.
He's like FedEx. He always delivers in that instance. So I'm very intrigued on what we're going to get in this match. The match is going to be amazing. I expect nothing less. I really don't.
Agreed. And going back to the point, and I'm going to steer away from what you're saying right now. You mentioned you don't have to defend both titles. This is why I'm so adamant of having, hey, this is a SmackDown exclusive show. This is a Raw exclusive show. I miss that format because you can build storylines. But lazy writing is like, hey, we're not going to have 2 shows. We're going to have one pay-per-view for everything. And that hurts the product, in my opinion, because you can't build more stories. Riddle versus Mustafa Ali, the U.S. title, it's an afterthought. Nobody remembered. I forgot to put it on my paper here as the matches for tonight. And I was looking them up, too. So it's like stuff like that. The mid-card hurts because of it. The tag teams hurt because of it. I haven't heard the SmackDown tag titles about them in a while. Ever since they took them off the Street Profits. It hurts the product. And then going back to Roman Reigns with Daniel Bryan, it's the right move to just have that match. Because something big is going to go down, or it's going to throw a swerve into everybody's plan of the original main event of Roman Reigns versus Edge. It's going to be a triple threat. Paul Heyman said it. You can take it to the bank.
There's just no steam right now on Reigns and Edge. And we'll talk about it later tonight. After the show ends, we'll get more into that. But it's just right now, there's just no momentum with that match. There's really not. The story's been good. And I have no problem with the story. There's no steam on Edge right now.
No.
All the steam's on Daniel Bryan. Once again, it's just so
this feels so familiar.
It's just like
we've seen this before.
So fucked up. Not fucked up. It's the testament to him. And WWE's always anti-resistance of wanting to give the people what they want in this situation. I wasn't asking for Edge. I really wasn't. I wasn't asking for... I would rather see Roman Reigns and Daniel Bryan in the main event of WrestleMania. You still had Edge and Randy Orton where the story was still going and it was great. Edge gets hurt and then you just do a throwaway match on Raw for the Fiend. So it's you kind of you went in a direction that I think they didn't know how to get themselves out of, and now they're going to have to do something they probably didn't want to do. So, but the match is going to... Go ahead.
You mean to tell me that WWE booked themselves into a corner and they don't know how to get out of it? Wow, that never happens to them.
And I get shit on. It's oh, you're pro AEW. I'm not pro AEW. AEW does some stupid shit too. This isn't something new. It's just don't do dumb shit. That's all. Don't do fucking stupid. Just use common sense.
Yeah, AEW's done their own booking mistakes too. We're not a pro AEW show here. We see, we judge, and we go. It's our forte. And the thing is, AEW is newer, and it's giving the fans what they want.
Yeah,
that's the difference. You see Sting debut. Everybody was wanting to see him back because of the way that his career ended. That wasn't a good sight for him. And now you see him coming back in an area where he's he can actually wrestle and you hide him. And he's not going for the world title. Looking at you, Bill Goldberg. Looking at you.
Oh, come on. Stop hating on Billy Boy.
I'm not hating on Billy Boy. I'm hating at the fact that how they book him. He's still a draw. Goldberg is still a draw, just not for the world title.
Is in 2021 is severely fucked up. Now I got to get a prediction. What way? Who's winning here? What do you think happens in this main event?
Roman wins by shenanigans, and Bryan throws a fit, absolutely beats the hell out of somebody, and gets inserted into the title match.
I think Edge costs Daniel Bryan. Roman Reigns retains, and we get a 3-way at WrestleMania. That is where I think we're both on the same page on that. Let's get to what I think is going to be the co-main event of the show. Women's tag titles on the line. Nia Jax, Shayna Baszler defending against the Women's Royal Rumble winner, Bianca Belair, and the SmackDown Women's Champion, Sasha Banks. Belair and Banks will be squaring off at WrestleMania. You said it earlier. This program is, for as screwed up as this program is, Daryl, I'm enjoying it. I don't know why. I'm trying not to. It's one of those things to where you've heard the phrase stupid funny.
Yeah.
This is what this program is to me. It is so stupid funny. I get a kick out of Reginald and Nia. Shayna, like, get this guy bleeping out of here. I enjoy that. Everyone's playing the role well, and just how they're acting is so damn funny. So it makes me want to watch. The stuff with Belair and Banks, it is what it is. It's okay. I get where they're going. And I'm getting into it now. Like the last 2 weeks, I'm like, okay, I'm starting to feel this now. Because Sasha's turning it up now. She knows it's go time. And you can start to see the heel boss. And I'm down with that idea.
Yeah.
But I think we get new tag champs tonight. Because it's so WWE booking. And they keep bringing it up. The last time WrestleMania main eventers were going into WrestleMania as tag champions were John Cena and Shawn Michaels going into WrestleMania 23. They've brought that up a few times. And WWE doesn't bring stuff up just for cracks and giggles. I'm going with new tag champs tonight. I'm going with Sasha and Bianca Belair.
I'm going to go ahead and go on a limb here that if that happens, WWE just decided not to care about the women's tag titles anymore.
What? No. Why?
Just stick, because again, all right, so you're going to have them become tag champs again, tonight. They're probably going to lose it on Friday to build the SmackDown women's title again. Why not, instead of having them win it tonight, why not have Sasha turn on Bianca tonight, prevent them from winning the titles, and keep Nia Jax and Shayna with the titles and build the WrestleMania program? They don't have anything right now. Build something out of it. You have Bayley. You have Carmella. You have a plethora of talent that you can use to build a women's title or tag title match at Mania. But you are going to keep them out because you want to give the titles to Bianca and Sasha and build that program even more. You could just turn them tonight and build that program from there. You have 2 weeks to do it.
I'm Stephen Muehlhausen of DAZN, along with combat sports journalist Daryl Rivera. This is the Walkway to Fight Club. Got a lot of people bouncing in and out here. Leave any questions and comments you have. We're just previewing tonight's WWE Fastlane, which you can catch on the WWE Network and the inaugural pay-per-view outing for Peacock. Who's down with the cock?
You might want to rephrase that.
Who's down with the peacock? Baby. Who's down with the peacock? I'm in a good mood today. I got no kids. I got no wife. Till at least Wednesday. This is beautiful. I am in heaven. I'm in heaven right now.
You hear that? You hear that?
In heaven right now. So you're going with Shayna and Nia. Okay, now I'm going with Bianca and Sasha. All right. Intercontinental title. Big E. Apollo Crews. I would have saved this for WrestleMania. I'm a little perturbed they're going with this match. Just because the program has been built really well. Like the match is Talking's been great. I love the intensity from both guys. Their best mic work I've seen of them in their careers so far up to this point. Well done. The match just doesn't need to happen now. You can wait a couple weeks. Like, I would go with the DQ finisher. Like, the match is going to be fine. The match is going to be good. This is a situation where I'm not a big fan of DQs on pay-per-view or no contests. I'm making it an exception to the rule. One of these guys is winning by, I don't care who wins by DQ. I'm going to go with Apollo by DQ. We get the rematch at WrestleMania.
Okay. That's the only way you can go about this, because both talents are doing such a good job with this program, and you can extend it. I do agree it was a mistake to have this match today at Fastlane, a lesser pay-per-view, don't get me wrong. But at the same time, this is where WWE can use a non-finish to further a storyline. People hate that idea because it's so overused. Like, a non-finish in WWE is as common as me eating anything I see like around the kitchen. It's you just see it all the time. But this is the booking that you can do that, because Big E and Apollo Crews so far is delivering. You're building up Apollo Crews as a good heel character. You're building up Big E as a dominant champion, like Intercontinental title holder. You're bringing legitimacy to the title. This is the time that you use a non-finish for the storyline at WrestleMania.
I agree 100%. 100%. Let's get Drew. I can't believe I forgot about this match. No holds barred. Drew McIntyre and Sheamus. Me and you talked about this before we came on. And me and you both hate the fact this is not a number one contenders match. You could have done this, and you talked about lazy booking. Lazy booking 101 right here, ladies and gentlemen. All you had to do was wait a week. Could have made this a number one contenders match, have Drew win, and go on.
Yep.
Instead, this match means shit. This match means nothing. We know it's going to be great. They have unbelievable chemistry. Why in the hell are you putting it on when there's no stakes? None. Horse shit booking at its finest. You want to know why people shit on WWE? And for all you WWE fans out there, you want to know why? Because it's some dumb shit like this.
Yep. I agree.
Horrible.
It's a simple fact. Hey, this is now a number one contenders match. It's there. It's written. You have the storyline going. You don't have to have Lashley compete on the title. But WWE, their biggest problem is they constantly jump the gun. They announce return just because it got leaked online. This is the program. Cool. You can still work with how you get there. We already knew that McIntyre was going to wrestle for the title. That was a given. It's just, how do you get us there? And that's what they're lacking on lately. They're just jumping the gun. We're going to have this main event at WrestleMania. Now, that leads me to believe one of two things is going to happen. Either Drew wins and he goes on with Lashley, this rivalry's over, or now that it's announced, Sheamus wins.
They're not going to go with Sheamus. You want to have McIntyre.
You never know.
You want McIntyre because their whole thing is they want McIntyre winning the belt in front of fans, which I get. This is one of your This is one of the. They're actually building a talent. Who knew? You know, you can say, "Oh, Drew's established already," but I can get the booking philosophy of you want this guy winning the title in front of at least 25,000 people. You want that WrestleMania moment, and I get it. He deserves it. He should have gotten it last year. That was the biggest match of his career, and it was in front of nobody. He deserves that moment. He really, really does. He put that company on his back this year, these past 12 months, and that's a testament to him. Where he could have been like, "Fuck, what the hell do I do?" Kept churning out great promos, churning out great matches. I think Drew has to win. It's just you could have added to me, you could have. I say you go with Drew. Maybe they do go with Sheamus. Maybe we have triple threat matches for title matches at WrestleMania. I don't know. You could go with that. Because Sheamus is on a good run right now, too, which I'm not. I want to see new guys at the top of the picture. But if you're going to deliver in the ring, I'm okay for now. Not okay forever, but I can deal with it for now.
This is another situation like on the SmackDown side, where if they add Sheamus on there, it's a reason of somebody has to eat the pin.
And Sheamus
can eat the pin easily because Lashley's hot right now. He's on fire. I'm kind of upset that they're going to drop they're probably going to take the title away from him in Mania. Yeah. And that's upsetting because Lash is in such a good run that you want to see that match of like, if Lesnar ever comes back, Lashley versus Lesnar, McIntyre versus Lesnar again. There's no wrong way to go about it. It's just upsetting to see it.
And we'll get more into this on the road when we get closer to Mania, but I would go with Lashley retaining as well. Maybe they will. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
There's no wrong answer there.
Randy, an intergender match. Randall Keith Orton taking on Alexa Bliss. What the fuck? We know how this is gonna go. I'm not spending 10 minutes on this.
Yeah.
We know the Fiend's gonna come out. Gonna get that program ramped up and roaring into WrestleMania. Who I would love to have the schedule of Bray Wyatt. God damn. Get paid a shit ton of money and you hardly gotta fucking work. That ain't bad.
That goes to show you his character development, man.
That is true.
His main thing as a character is psychology. That's it. He doesn't have to. He doesn't have to wrestle.
120%. Seth Rollins, Shinsuke Nakamura. This match was made on SmackDown. Rollins beat the living tar out of Cesaro on SmackDown. Walked in the back. There was a really cool stare down. I thought that stare down was pretty sick with him and Nakamura. I was down for the cause on that. The match is going to be great. I'm expecting nothing but greatness here. I would open with this match. This would be the opener. Because you know they're going to tear it down. Seth hasn't wrestled a one-on-one match in a gazillion years. Since, I think November-ish. Nakamura's had a good run since turning babyface. I'm going with Nakamura here, and I think Cesaro is going to be the reason why. I think he's going to distract Rollins. I think Nakamura gets the win. Nakamura gets a good win, and then you build with Cesaro and Rollins for WrestleMania.
I think it's going to be, and I don't agree with this booking, but I think this is what they're going to do. Nakamura's going to be the victim here. Rollins,
come on.
Rollins.
Why are you so being the heel today, man?
I'm not being the heel. I'm being realistic.
The heel. You're being the heel.
I'm being realistic.
Being Seth Rollins today.
Listen, am I wrong? Has WWE not done this before? Where they're trying to book a match and they're using another talent who they should be using better as a scapegoat to get that match started.
You're not wrong. No, you're not wrong.
I think Nakamura wins, but he wins by DQ. Rollins continues to beat down after.
2 DQ.
And then Cesaro's the one that comes in and makes a save.
You're calling 2 non-finishes on this pay-per-view. Book it, ladies and gentlemen. Book it.
Book it. Write it down.
2 non-finishes. I'm writing it down now because I'm going to remember. 2
non-finishes. Now, the reason I say this is what I think is going to happen. What I would like to see happen is what you said. Nakamura wins. Maybe we get a dominant performance out of both of them. Cesaro gets dominant. If they're going to end Big E and Apollo Crews' run there, and Big E stays with the title, I wouldn't mind seeing a 4-way for the Intercontinental title at Mania. Big E versus Cesaro versus Shinsuke Nakamura versus Seth Rollins.
You're just all about these multi-man matches at WrestleMania.
This is what happens when you have so much talent and you don't know what to do with it.
That is true. That's why there's 2 nights, Daryl. WrestleMania is so big. You got to go 2 nights.
I'd rather have the two 4-hour nights than 1 8-hour day.
Especially when I just found out I am covering both nights. So I am very pumped. Always pumped to cover WrestleMania. But I'm pumped at the fact it's not going to be this like albatross of like 10 hours.
God.
I can deal with 2 4-hour shifts. That's cool with me.
Yeah.
All right. The final match, Riddle defending the United States title against Ali. This match, you can even start with this match. Riddle's on a good roll right now, man. I know people have their Riddle starting. You could see the happiness in one Vincent Kennedy McMahon with Matt Riddle. Riddle's winning, and Riddle's starting to get to do Matt Riddle matches. Instead of being booked like a freaking geek with Lashley, now you're just letting Riddle do his shit. You're letting him have great matches. You're letting him talk on the mic. I'm all about Riddle. I have said to you for the longest time, this is the guy. If I'm booking my company, Riddle, there was goals I had for Matt Riddle when he got on the main roster. Having a title by WrestleMania was one of them. He's getting that shot. I think Riddle wins here. He defends the U.S. belt at WrestleMania. This is going to be another good match. And we're going to see the continued breakup of Retribution. This should also be a banger. I'd have no problem if this match went first. Match is going to be very good if it gets some proper time. Riddle wins. Riddle remains the United States champion heading in to WrestleMania 37.
I like this match just because of the potential of the in-ring work out of the two guys. These two guys can work. Now, this is a match that I think having both shows under one B show like this, like a B pay-per-view, having both Raw and SmackDown in one hurts the product. Because you could have built this a lot more. Like the Retribution angle coming to a breakup, Riddle establishing himself as the U.S. champion, you could have built it a little more.
Yep.
Have this start the pay-per-view. I'm fine with it. Or have Nakamura, Rollins start pay-per-view. Whichever of the two. This is going to be a good match. I have Riddle winning as well because I think he's going to defend the title at Mania against Keith Lee, which would be a barnstormer.
I do not know what's up with Keith Lee. That tweet he sent the other day kind of made me scratch my head. Doesn't have WWE mentioned on his Twitter. I don't know. That's for another day and another time.
Down the road to WrestleMania.
Hopefully we see Keith Lee sooner rather than later. Got a couple comments here. I just want to knock these out real quick before we go. From Matt Ward, the only matches I'm looking forward to is Apollo versus Big E, Riddle versus Ali, and Bliss versus Riddle. Why is anyone looking forward to? I love you, Matt Ward, but I'm not looking forward to Alexa Bliss.
Because of the unknown factor. You know it's not going to happen.
We know what's going to happen. Good Lord. This is going to be the first WrestleMania that the champions don't. This is the first WrestleMania that the champions don't have a part-timer as a champion. That is true. Never say never. Never say never in regards to WWE. But that is a very astute point, though. As of right now, there will be no part-timer headlining WrestleMania. We'll get into that more as the weeks go on. Natalya and Tamina defeat Banks and Belair on SmackDown, in my opinion, if they win tonight. A little booking foreshadowing here. I want to go back to that comment tonight when we do the post show. If that happens, I would not be surprised by that. I really would not. I think that's a little good foreshadowing there. You made it up, Matt Ward. You really did. After your Alexa Bliss dumb comment, you stepped up, brother. Good job. All right, short podcast for this afternoon before we get to tonight. DY, how can the fans get a hold of you?
You can find me on Twitter down below at DY21, or you can follow me on Instagram at Daryl17 Rivera. Also, you can find the Walkway to Fight Club on Instagram, the Walkway to Fight Club, all lowercase.
I am at S Muehlhausen JR on the Twitter, and now I'm at S Muehlhausen JR on Instagram. Woody woo!
Look at you moving up in the world. Let's go.
Moving on up through these times. You can also find the Walkway to Fight Club on Facebook. Just type in the search bar, the Walkway to Fight Club. Like the page and follow it as well on Twitter at Walkway Fight. I'll be tweeting tonight on the old tweet machine from that account. So make sure you guys follow along on the thought of tonight's Fastlane. And like Daryl said, we're on Instagram, Walkway to Fight Club, all in lowercase letters. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Just type in the Walkway to Fight Club. Gain a couple subscribers here since we've been getting that channel back up and roaring. So make sure you subscribe and hit that old thumbs up. That will definitely help out. It'd be greatly appreciated. Got great stuff with anyone in the world of MMA, boxing, and the world of professional wrestling. Bill Goldberg, Drew McIntyre, Anthony Joshua, and a whole lot more. Dana White is on there. So we got
CM Punk.
CM Punk is on there. So there is a lot of goodies on there. So make sure you guys check out the YouTube page. And don't forget, if you're going to listen to the audio, rate, review, and please subscribe to the channel, to the podcast. iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, iHeart, any of your favorite podcasting platforms. We will be back on this evening as we will be recapping WWE Fastlane anywhere between 9:30 and 10 o'clock Central Time. It just depends on when the pay-per-view ends. It really does. As soon as that pay-per-view ends, we'll be on shortly thereafter. We'll be live on Facebook and we'll be live on YouTube. For DY, Daryl Rivera, I am Steven Muehlhausen. We'll catch you guys tonight. Go Illini, not. Go Loyola Ramblers. Peace. We're out of here.